What's up, everybody? Welcome to HiBruiNation, the unofficial home of your Boston Bruins. I'm Goosey, joined by always with me is the Chavo and Mr. Hattrick himself in Jack. We got a good show for you guys. Got a great show for you guys tonight, if I can ever get the words out. It's episode 50. What a major milestone that we finally made it to, guys. So congratulations. Thank you for making this journey
I
with
really
us.
worked hard to get here, guys. I have to say, I want to thank my mom and my dad. Really, I would not have been able to get to this position if it wasn't for them. I put in so many grizzled, hard work hours. Cam, I should just take the show over at this point. I don't know.
His 3-episode stint, and he has made it so far in this industry. He's taken over. He's the executive vice president of HiBruiNation.
He's coming for your throat.
That's going to be your new name. That's going to be your new name, Jack. Anyway, guys, a special thank you to all those who have listened to us, both current and future. For those of you guys who come back and watch these episodes, huge thank you. We wouldn't be here without you guys. We love hockey just as much as you guys watching it and listening about us talking about it or just talking about it in general. But tonight we have some topics, a whole bunch. There's actually a lot more to talk about. So this one's probably going to be a long one. Stay tuned with us. We're going to talk about the state of the team, Hampus Lindholm, Providence Bruins being a fucking wagon, being 6-0-0 to start their season. Wish that was happening in the NHL. And of course, some interesting Zacha trade rumors that have kind of resurfaced involving the Vancouver Canucks. And it all starts right now. Fellas, how are we feeling? We're recording on a Monday night because we were all busy yesterday. What's going on? Somebody talk to me because we're 4-6-0 and I'm struggling.
I think we are all struggling.
Yeah, I've got the game on right now just to, look at some live updates in case anyone's, not aware. Bruins are playing right now against the Ottawa Senators, and it's not looking good. For example, another game we could have won, but didn't. So,
color us shocked, baby. Color us shocked.
You two sound like you have a case of the Mondays. Like both of you. You guys are just like it'd be better.
Yeah, man.
They're really. It's low. The energy was coming off a high from this weekend. I think the Colorado game really got the wheels turning for Bruins fans and the team itself. They're like, oh my gosh, we can actually put together a solid 60 minutes. And I think, quote, Sturm, everyone was on board that game. And what happened? They had a pretty good game and a solid effort. So what do they follow up with? Being down 4-1 to the Senators with less than 12:45 left to go.
At the time of this recording.
I think the talk between that is very prevalent. And it's just a matter of consistency for these guys. And, again, live updates. I'm looking at the game. There's almost a chance. How's that for your Mondays?
Yeah, my Monday blues comes from the fact that I've been up since 4:30 in the morning and spent so much time in the airport and on a plane today. So, yeah, I'm exhausted. I try to take a little cat nap.
That would make sense.
Really work. And, a 2-hour time shift for me really kind of screwed me up. It was interesting. Over the weekend, I got to experience my first 10 a.m. start time for Sunday football, which was very interesting. It threw me off completely.
That is really interesting.
And a 4 p.m. start for the World Series game completely messed me up. So it's going to take me a couple days to get back into the swing of things. And also, this team is just depressing the shit out of me, and I can't stand it. I can't stand watching them right now. It's not good hockey, and it's just I want to fucking throw myself against the wall.
Let it out, Steve. Let it out.
I'm letting it out, baby. I'm letting it out because I can't stand it anymore. This team fucking sucks. Fuck this team. It's pathetic.
Boom. Mic drop.
I was gonna say
at least
stand on business.
Shit. Steve has absolutely left the building. Oh my god.
Yeah,
well, hey, at least you look nice, clean shaven. Like you're nice, clean. I like the background.
I got the haircut. I got the fade going, so it's fine.
Yeah,
but I look bald right now, so it's all good.
Suave.
Oh yeah,
be like
suave over here,
or whatever.
But you got to look good for a wedding. Guapo, you're so white.
Well, I don't know what's handsome in Spanish. I have no idea.
I don't know.
I don't know. My Spanish teacher in high school would be absolutely devastated with me right now, not remembering that.
I took like 6 years of Spanish, and I still
Mine
don't
would be too.
remember
I
anything.
can't believe I can't remember that.
I know burrito, enchilada, mole, rojo,
Wow.
verde.
Wow. Okay, that took an
They're pretty
absolute turn for the worst. You went from looking good at a wedding now to just being an absolute prick. Welcome
Well, it's true.
to the show, Steve.
It's true, baby. I mean, listen, what do you want from me?
Shit.
I can order food in Spanish. I can't do
You're in
anything else.
timeout, and you're in timeout. We're gonna get back to hockey. Let's talk about the state of the
Okay,
team.
I'm sorry. What the heck is this episode start? It really is weird. Like it's a mix of Monday, just glum, and
the shit team.
Random quotes from Steve about Spanish stuff he likes.
You just listen. You just gotta get on this roller coaster and enjoy the ride. Like we don't know where it's gonna fucking go. Like
Buckle
that's
up,
Steve.
I am,
Buckle up,
baby.
bitches.
I am.
Yep. It's like you're taking a roller coaster right through the dark, man. You don't know when the turn is coming. You don't know when the drop is coming. It's just gonna fucking hit you like that, dude. Like that's what it's like being in, like in here with Steve.
I was born in the darkness.
Just like
I'm sorry.
I was born in the darkness. All right. Well, to get things going, look at some stats. Cam, I want your thoughts on this to kick things going. Despite where we are, I think, second in the league in faceoffs won. Do you want to explain that and how these stats shake up for the Bruins? Because some of it on paper doesn't look great, and it's kind of middle of the road and can turn around. And then some suggest we should be doing better. What are your thoughts, bud?
Dude, it's equal and opposite. So buckle with me just for a minute while I rattle the stats off. They're going to be a lot. So if you guys need me to repeat them, I will. We'll start with the special teams. We're 19th in power play. Again, as of right now, not including the Ottawa game or any other games played.
That's a current shithole right now.
That is the current shithole that is currently being played. We are 19th in power play percentage. Which means we're also second in penalties drawn. We are 8th in PK percent with 6. While we're second in penalties taken. For goaltending, Swayman has a goal saved above expected of 5. I'm pretty sure that's gone down tonight. Corpy, a negative 3.5. The defense, 5-on-5. They're letting players walk right in, but they're 25th in goals allowed per game, 32nd in goals against on 5-on-5, which means they're dead last.
And that's probably about to stay the same with this game too, considering we're down 4-1 still. So just to keep in mind.
We are tied for 5th in goals for, 15th in goals for per game, 7th in goals for on 5-on-5. And we are second or third in faceoff percentage with 56.1.
And if you guys thought I was mad at the beginning, all those stats just prove why I'm so pissed off. On paper, this team should be much better than they actually are. And rattling off those stats is unbelievable to me that we were questioning where the offense was going to come from. It looks like we got plenty of offense, apparently. It looks like we're getting plenty of chances on the power play. We just can't convert. And, I mean, the penalties taken is obviously atrocious.
Getting worse tonight. Again, the first period, I don't know, they had a countless many. Boom, boom, boom after another. Not helping themselves.
They're just constantly shooting themselves in the foot. And, I mean, the fact that we're winning so many faceoffs and we're not doing anything with it is atrocious. It's atrocious. So how do you explain this? Anybody?
It's crazy, right? Because they're equal and opposite. The offensive stats are exactly opposite to the defensive stats. And Corpy hasn't had a great year, but I'll still say that the goaltending, it's been there. Like there's been many times where I think Corpusal and Swayman have both made tremendous saves, but there's also games like, where you're not going to have the best goaltending. Corpy could stand to be a little bit better, but at the same time, I think they're giving you opportunities to win games. I don't know. I don't know how to explain those stats. I'm just as surprised as you guys are that we're actually getting the offense, but we're not getting the defense. Because I think that was the one thing, many of us said that was a lock for the Bruins when they were going in. The defense looked better.
Yeah, but you're having bad habits still creep in. I mean, from Florida and the Ducks game last week. It was brutal seeing the pushes that they had and then giving up one or two goals after. I mean, that Ducks game, granted I didn't watch a lot of it, but it was brutal seeing the glimpses of and going into the third period and how that ended out losing 7-5 to them. Like, it's just
to the goddamn Ducks, dude. They're not that good. They're not that good at all.
Again, I've said before, I think I've advocated a tiny bit in my appearances so far. I think they're going to be a better team, and they've been showing. So, but yeah, you don't want to have a game like that, and letting up goals right after taking the lead is not gonna go good for you long term. And that Florida game I watched in full with my dad, and we were on the edge of our seat, just waiting, and they actually broke through, and it looked like they were gonna put on, and then they blew it. What are you saying, Cam? Sorry.
Can we just say the Florida game? The fuck was that?
Yeah.
What the fuck was that at the end?
A goal.
Swayman swimming out of his net for?
Listen, I don't want to get into that because I don't fault Swayman for that.
I'm trying to pull on Cam. I'm like, come on, buddy, give me something.
But no, don't blow me up on it, because people say that's Swayman's fault. I'm like, are you shitting? Like, that's just such a thing.
No, it's just a bad play. It's a little
that.
On both. Like, I'm not gonna put it entirely on Sway, because for that game he
wasn't gonna say that.
No, but it was just a matter of being out of position. I think his lack of, for some reason. I mean, again, it's a few seconds left to go in the game, but his lack of focus, I think, wasn't there, and he just wasn't, and he slid too little off, and then I don't know how Kiki put it in, or he kind of booted it in, right? Or
I watched that goal probably 50 times before I went to bed because I could not just let it go. I was just like, why? I'm like, why? Can we literally have nothing nice? I went on an absolute, like, I don't know. That goal made me short circuit. Like, I can't. It's just like you couldn't. So we went on when we had the 6-game losing streak that was broken when we played against Colorado this past Saturday, which was a good win. I would consider that it was a good team effort. You did stave off Colorado. You made a statement. You came back and you fought. I like that. And Lowry made a statement there as well. He needed to step up in that game. But before that, man, was he bad. There were some bright things this past week, but also a lot of bad things. And Jack, I think the Ducks game you brought up, and sorry, Steve, I'll let you go in a second. The Ducks game, dude, we were ahead, and then they let them tie it.
Exactly.
And then we were ahead again, and then they let them tie it. It's the same fucking story over and over. Go ahead, Steve. I'm sorry.
Bad habits creeping in.
Bad habits creeping in, but also I as far as like I'm concerned, I think this was probably the worst week of hockey for the Bruins, despite the past couple weeks going 0-6, right? Like that losing streak. It's just like the way you lose to Florida, that's deflating, right? Especially in the last seconds of the game with no chance to come back and make a final push, right?
After making a great comeback.
Exactly.
Insane comeback.
An insane comeback against a team who's downright better than you, even though they're missing a lot of key guys due to injuries, right?
Yep.
And you made a game out of it. You fought to the end, right? And I think the combination with with Swayman being out of position, the defense definitely being out of position, right, is the reason why you lose that game in the last few seconds there. But also going to
in perfect position if you're Florida.
Yeah, no shit. Well, it's perfect to score. You can score an empty net. I mean, that's basically an empty net right there, right? I mean, no matter how you put it up,
it was a mile out of the goal.
Exactly. I mean, it was wide open. He's out of position. The defenseman's out of position because no one's.
Cam, I'm not putting all of him. I promise, buddy. I know. I see you over there trying to.
I'm not trying to put it all on Swayman either. But the fact is, it's like you look at the frame by frame. He's clearly out of position. There's nobody picking up the forward. Right, it's a combination of everyone being out of position and bad luck, right? And then you look at the Ducks game where you had it, you were in it, you were winning, you score a goal, you let it up, you score a goal, you let it up. It's when you're up, you put the fucking pedal to the floor and you don't take your foot off the gas.
No, and that's something we're going to be talking about this entire season about how they're going to respond to that. I mean, that is everything. That's everything.
And you know what? Cool. We beat Colorado to snap a 6-game losing streak. Okay, cool. Like that team is arguably way better than you. They're one of the best teams in the NHL as of right now. And you go out to, I mean, we're not really talking about the Ottawa game tonight, but you go out after getting a huge win at home, snapping a losing streak just to get dominated again, right?
Yeah, they are losing 6-1. 6-1 right now.
6-1.
6-1.
That's terrible, right? And it's just the same.
We'll address that next week, but Steve brings up a good point.
It's just the same thing over and over, and it's frustrating to watch and enjoy this, right? Like for those 6 games that they lost in a row, I mean, most of them you were in it. You were in it to the end. And
I'd say you should have won 4 out of the 6.
I'm just gonna split it down the middle in 3 and 3.
Yeah, I think I will too.
To be conservative,
but it's close.
Yeah, but it's close. But the fact of the matter is, it's like the highest highs, right, and then the lowest of lows with this team, and it's hard to watch.
There's no middle.
There's no middle. There's no consistency, and
when they're hot, they're hot, and if they are
not, and if one person's off, they're off. Close. Yeah, it's
here's the thing: when they're off, they're not even playing like an NHL team. They're playing like an AHL team. Like they don't even belong. Like that's the thing that bothers me the most. Like
getting outclassed,
tonight, like you mentioned. Yeah, and you're getting outclassed. Like I get it. There's going to be a few bad games here and there, but for the love of God, like it's not like you have a team full of garbage player. Like you still have like your defense. You have Charlie McAvoy, who I'm still kind of waiting to that he showed in the Foreign Nations. Right? Like I'm still waiting for that
was the best
to show
we've ever seen McAvoy. Yeah, he was incredible.
Now, could you attribute some of this to his partner being Lowry, who has been awful? Maybe. I don't know if you guys have seen some of the stat cards that have come out with Lowry, but they're not good.
Yeah, especially on
I don't care how he responds offensively, but his defensive game, bad.
Yeah, he's not taking gaps great. He's just letting guys challenge him easily. And for a guy that size as well, you got to use your frame to your max. And it seems like he hasn't figured that out yet. And
perfect example. Oh, sorry, Jack.
No,
perfect example. Perfect example is the Greer goal in Florida. Stick on stick, but Greer just pushes right through him.
He's playing soft.
That's not good enough.
He's playing soft. And that's what it comes down to. I mean, he's a big dude. He should be using his size to advantage, and he's just flat out playing soft, right? And I'm not going to say, listen, I've had my gripes with Charlie McAvoy. I can't blame it on the fact that Hampus is yet again hurt, and he's stuck with Lowry. But the fact is, it's like I'm expecting more of Charlie McAvoy. If I can get a glimpse of what he looked like in the Four Nations, we'd probably be a little bit better defensively. But he's still not playing to the level that we know he can play. Right? He's not doing it, and it's getting really frustrating watching the defense they're trying to plug in and nothing is working, and it's just downright sad.
It was nice to see at least Lowry respond with points after getting called out by Sturm, which, by the way, I'm really starting to like Sturm and him calling people out because he was quoted, and again, I'm going to paraphrase here, but he basically said he took personal accountability. He said, listen, it's my job as the coach to make sure the players are on the bus, but some players just keep missing the bus.
Yeah.
So good. You said the statement without calling the people out, and then you called out some of the people, and they responded. Lowry didn't necessarily respond in the way I would have hoped he would have responded by improving his defensive play, but he responded with getting you points that ended up helping you win a game. So I'm okay with that. I'll take what I can get. That's the episode's name. Take what we can get. Like, and even Middlestat was brought out of the lineup. He goes and gets you 2 points. I think you lost that game, but you go and get 2
statement,
points.
Though. That's a statement where, I mean, I like Middlestat. I don't think he was playing to the best of his abilities, and that, healthy scratch, so to say, was a wake up call to him, right?
7-1.
7-1. Wow. Yeah. This is, again,
this is going to get more depressing as the episode goes.
I know.
So I was like, I wish
we just waited till after.
That's what I was saying. We got to wait till the game is done, so at least we know what we're dealing with. But now we can see it happen live, though.
And of course, the listeners can listen to us gripe about the game live as well, which is kind of a new thing for them. But at the end of the day, man, like Cam, I remember distinctly talking to you about this. August and July about, hey, as long as we're not getting blown out 7-2, 7-8-3, all these stupid ass fucking scores.
We're gonna call it a win.
We're gonna call it a win. And of course, you win. The fact,
arguably your best game against Colorado, your best game, your team win. What do you follow up with?
A 7-1
being pumped.
Loss.
It's probably gonna
at this point
end up being 7-1, maybe even 8-1. Who knows 8-1. At this rate?
And that's what's so frustrating. Where it's like, again, you started off so hot. And then you completely cooled off. You showed signs of a little bit of life just to get blown out the very next game. And it's just kind of ridiculous that this is even happening, right? You have the coach, like Cam, to your point, you have the coach calling out people, and this is what they give up. Like, what are we going to... Is Sturm going to have to keep calling out people every week to get the best out of them? Or
I hope not. I mean, as a player, that would be tough to handle. I mean, there's a lot of pressure anyways,
and that's how you lose the locker room.
Because at what point does it stop being motivating? Well, at what point does it stop being motivating, and does it start being a nuisance?
Yeah, and demoralizing.
Exactly.
Yeah, and actually got like that. Like I was going to say, you got chased out like that, and links to a bunch of things. Hearsay, people saying this and that about what's going on and people being unhappy and players unhappy. But, I think it's different nowadays. And I think the guys we have, they appreciate that toughness and, and want to be pushed. But yeah, to an extent, it's gonna, it can burn you as well. So
there were a couple quotes, and like, again, this is going to be a bit of a paraphrase again. Charlie McAvoy mentioned when they were on the 6-game losing streak that it's disappointing and frustrating. No shit. Zadorov called it embarrassing. Great. I imagine, like, let's be real, guys. I imagine it's frustrating. Like, imagine being them. Like, that Florida game, holy shit. Imagine that locker room after that just being like, fuck, we were right there.
You're right there.
And of course, it's against Florida. So, like, even more so now. Like, that's even more demoralizing because that's how your season ended, 2-3 years ago? When you had the greatest record? Like, just imagine, like, all of that coming back and just being like, what do we have to fucking do just to, like, have something go our way? I resonate with the players on that, right, guys? Like, you'd imagine that it's frustrating. Imagine, like, putting yourselves in, like, let's put ourselves in their shoes for a second and then just realize, like, yeah, I'm pissed. We feel like we're doing a lot of things right. But like, what else can we do? Like, you're sitting there twiddling your thumbs, wondering what else. Like, what else do you have to do?
That's the name of the NHL. You can do a lot of things right, but if you don't pull those details together to an extent, you're not going to be successful. It's about a lot of things coming together. And I feel like they feel like they're doing a lot of things right, but things here and there are slipping, and it's causing them to have these shortcomings. And you don't fix them, they're not going to change. It's very early on in the season, and this is when you build in better habits. So you don't want to have an effort like this to follow up a game like Colorado, which we've already said a few times. So it's up to them.
It is. And to the point of these comments by, like, Charlie McAvoy, right? Like, so play better, dude. You haven't been...
I think that's what I said in the group chat when Cam said it. I said, okay, so play better.
Exactly. Yep. I mean, that's just what it comes down to. You're frustrated, but you're giving a half-ass effort almost every night and giving up so many turnovers, and
especially McAvoy as well. We've grilled him.
By the way, Boston, I believe, is second or third in turnovers. Sorry, Steve, to interrupt you. You just brought up a good stat.
But the point of the turnovers is, those details that Jack was talking about. Turnovers are a huge detail that you need to button down on. And again, if your quarterback, especially on the power play, is turning it over on a power play, and you're losing time on it, those are the details that need to be shored up. And we've talked about this last week, where is McAvoy the guy to quarterback the power play? And it just goes to show, it's like his comments, right? We've been talking about it. We're frustrated, but it's like the only person that can make you play better is you, Charlie. Like, wake the fuck up. If you were part of the greatest team, regular season team in NHL history, you know what the details are. So fucking clean it up. We know what you can play like when it's for your nation. How about you do that for your team that pays you a shit ton of money to do it day in and day out? Oh, you want to be the captain of this team? Well, fucking lead by example.
Yeah,
and it's really not that hard.
And you think he'd be there close to this point in his career and the people he's had to be, mentored by. And this is coming from someone who, I enjoy McAvoy for what he is when he's on it. He's, incredible defenseman and a guy we've, gotten to develop and hope to lead the way of these, next Bruins. And yeah, it's just not there yet. And a lot of stuff is there. He has a lot of good things too. And when he's on it, like we saw in the Four Nations, I mean, he can be really difference maker. And he's taken on a lot of numbers. And I mean, and time on ice right now, I think he's taking a bigger workload still with Hampus. I must call him Hampo. That's funny. Hampus Lindholm. Hampus Lindholm. He's taken on a big workload from him being out still. And I think he's, still kind of struggling with that workload to sense and trying to be the best, leader, which is tough. It's hard to lead a team, but you want to lead by example. You really do. And I think he can. I think he's capable of it, but he's being asked to do maybe a lot right now, a lot more than he was expecting to, but also he should expect to have that. You know what I mean? Like you should be able to expect that of himself, and we should.
Let me ask you guys this. Because the offense is clicking and what we thought would have clicked with being the defense is not clicking. Do you think that the system that Sturm is providing, at least on defensively, because I mean, those defensive stats are staggering. On 5-on-5, like you're 25th in goals allowed per game and 32nd in 5-on-5. Do you think it's the system that Sturm is trying to implement that is just not clicking with the defense? Like, is it just not fitting their game? Like, what do you think the problem is? Because, like I said, I don't think we need to touch upon the defense. Like, if the offense is if you're in the top 10 in goals for, it means you're scoring. And then you're in the middle of the pack of goals for per game. Sure, I'll give you that, whatever. But you're still in the top 16 in that regard, and top 10 in total goals. So you're getting the offense. So then, do you guys think it's a system issue with respect to the defense? And this will just be before we move on to Hampus Lindholm, because then we'll transition there. What do you think that the problem is now? Do you think it could be system?
Jack, go ahead.
Yeah, I'll kind of mention what we're going to talk about next, Hampus, but I think he plays a big part. You're missing a really important part of your defense, and one that helps, fill up that top six a lot better. It frees up McAvoy and his numbers, like I just touched upon, and that gets evened out a little bit. They're both probably going to be playing. They should be playing high numbers when, high amount of time on ice when they're both healthy and playing. But then that moves Lori off the top pair, which is just not been working. And I'm surprised they went back to it again after last game. But they did. So you can get Lori moved off, and with, Hampus staying healthy, I think it just helps the defense out a ton. And I think, they probably are adjusting a little bit to the system and playing with Sturm's style of play. And like we said, the forwards have gotten it, and they've really been aggressive, hunting down pucks and, and being tenacious on the play. And I think the defensemen and our defense are just tuning up still a little bit, which, frustrating. We're about 10 games in, and we got to start, building towards something better. So I think it's a mix of, missing a huge guy, one of your top guys, and not clicking as much just as the forwards, and trying to get better as a system. So
Steve.
It strikes me as the comments of Sturm, right? Where it's like, it's my job as a coach to get everybody on the bus, right? I think that was quite literally meant for the defense on this team, right? Because we all know that he implemented a new defensive structure and system down there, and clearly they're not adjusting to it, right? And I think that was a call out to the entire defense, because you're getting your offensive production, like you said, Jack. You know, they're hunting down pucks, they're going in, they're kind of playing that big bad Bruins-esque type of forward gameplay, right? Go, hunt those pucks down and bang some bodies in the corners and cause a little chaos down in front of the net. But to the defense, I mean, the system isn't working the way anybody has imagined. And I thought at first it was looking really good. And I don't know if it's because other teams are, catching on to what their defensive structure is, and they're just coming up with better game plans to, work around it and generate their offense. But something happened when, Lindholm went out the first time, and we kind of never really recovered off of that. And it's just, it's one of those things.
It's hard.
Where, yeah, it's hard.
It's hard to put into words.
Yeah, but you can tell, right? You could tell as soon as Lindholm was out, right? The defense kind of was a little bit shakier. Yeah, we won, and then we went on a 6-game losing streak. So it's like,
yep.
You're to Jack's point, you're clearly missing your top guy, who's helping implement your system. And I mean, you said your top 6. I mean, he's your top 2 defensemen, right? Like, going down, a number 1 pairing essentially is going to affect you negatively, but that also, it allows somebody to step up, like a Lori, which he's not.
Yep.
And I don't think he's ready.
Let's talk about Hampus real quick. He was placed on IR.
You're just asking guys to do more.
Good point. Let's talk about Hampus real quick. Let's address him because he was placed on IR. Is it time that we start getting really concerned about this? He missed pretty much the entirety of last year, and now his knee might be relapsing a bit. So he's either 30 or 32, but we have 4 more years of his contract, half of which he has a full no movement clause. Do we start getting concerned that this might not be great in terms of his health?
Yes. Knee injuries are very hard to come back from. Right? Like, it's probably one of the tougher things, especially being a hockey player. You're on skates, you're balancing on half-inch blades, right? And you need to use your knees a lot.
Definitely.
In your hips, right? It's just one of those things that it's hard to recover from. And, he played 17 games last year. And how many games has he played this year? What? 3, 4?
3, I think.
3? Yeah.
2 or 3.
2 or 3, whatever. So it's clearly not working out. And what concerns me is his contract, right? Like, yeah, like, it's not the money. It's the fact that he has a no movement clause. And we can't ship him out if he decides.
I think he's played 3.
3 games. So in the past 2 seasons, he's played 20 games. Which, that's an issue.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, dude, honestly, it sucks because I really liked it when they brought him in. I really like Hampus Lindholm as a defenseman. Like, but
that's not enough
I gotta be honest
for your top guy.
I think Jack is lagging a little bit.
Yeah, he's frozen for me.
Yeah, he's frozen. So he's gonna be coming in and out. Hold on, Jack. I'm just gonna have to. I'm gonna boot you, and then we're gonna bring you back. Like, Oh man, but I definitely think this
Let's
is a
wait
huge
until
concern.
he gets back in, so he can comment too.
All right,
Let's wait.
all right. Well, hold on.
We can cut this out, and then just we'll boot him in, and then
No, we'll just hold it on. We'll just
okay. If you want this whole thing,
1 second. Oh, I think we got Mr. Hattrick back. Oh, maybe not. Maybe not. We're gonna have to see. This is gonna be the waiting game. All right, folks, hold on. We will be right back. All right, guys, we're back, and so is Jack.
We're back. I'm here.
Holy crap!
There he is.
What was only a few seconds for you guys was like 3 hours for us. We had to get Comcast over to Jack's house. Like we had a guy up on the roof. Steve flew all the way in from Chicago. We were having a day. Like it was crazy. It felt like an eternity.
Really did. Really did. All right, let's get back to another thing that's on glass or very finicky. Hampus Lindholm.
Go ahead, Jack. Say your opinion. I figured like you sound like you had a lot to say. So like, even I would just be like 3 games.
It's not
enough.
It was my anticipation was leading up to it, and then my internet just shat the bed, so I couldn't even finish my point. But yeah, I mean, to go with Steve's points, the contract is concerning, and like what we can get out of it, him for it still with the years he has left. There's just concern there and how that's going to end up. But from what we have right now, yeah, I mean, he's played close to only 20 games. I think that I heard Steve since last season. So it's, he just seems to have gotten the injury bug, and it's only gotten worse. And with something like a knee, that's going to take a lot of work to get back to, and not a lot of guys can. So I think we're just seeing him go through these trials and tribulations with injuries like that. And when he's on it, I mean, he's a great defender for us and a key piece. So I think the question right now is just his, sustainability moving forward and how much we can really get out of him and what the extent of these injuries are, because they've been a little bit vague, and they were, they waited to put him on IR after a week or two plus of just saying, oh, it's day to day, oh, he's nursing it, and then boom, next day, we find out he's on IR. So
do you guys actually respect the fact that they're listening to him? Because he did not play in the game. Like he dressed, but he did not play, I think. Because I think he took warm-ups for one game, if I'm not mistaken. He said, I'm not good to go. Like, you know what I mean? Or it was in the practice sessions. Like they're actually listening and talking to him. So they're taking it very seriously, and they're not going to put him out there where
he's voicing his concerns, not to be like, hey, I'm not ready to go. Like you guys need to listen to me here, or else I'm going to push it. So yeah, to your point, I'm glad they're listening, but like it's concerning all around of it. It's concerning. And we don't know how much we're really going to get out of this guy with his age and his contract and where he's at. It's all just pointing towards, a burnout of some sort. And you really wouldn't want to see that happen to him. So,
well, I'll pick off your points, right? For me, I sit there and try to put myself into Storm's position, right? You got a guy locked down for 4 years. You're paying him a shit ton of money to be a top 2 defenseman. You know that last year he played 17 games because of a knee injury. And, I think setting the precedence of Sturm of saying, hey, like, yeah, I'm going to listen to my guys. But I think it's coming also down from management level, right? Where it's like, hey, we need to protect our asset that we have for 4 years because he's on the payroll for the next 2 minimum. And if he's not good to go early in the season, we might as well try to salvage what we can, make sure he's good to go. That way we can kind of get back on track for next year. I don't think anybody sees this team as Stanley Cup competitors. I don't think Bruins management does. I don't think any of the fans do. Shit, I don't even think the team does at this point.
Whitey does, but that's about it.
Well, God help you. God love you. I can't change the minds. I don't live in delirium. But the fact of the matter is, when you put a performance that we have had in the past 3 weeks, it's not good. You're not looking there. You need to save your assets, especially when you're paying him so much money. You have no movement clause. What happens if he pushes it and then he's done? Now he's on the contract for at least 2 more years, and then that's assuming someone's going to pick up his last 2 years on contract to pay him out.
You don't need to, because they could just put him on LTIR.
Which, true, but it still affects the cap space and who you can get. Yeah, it does.
Nope.
Since
Not anymore.
Is it this year?
You can always put a player on LTIR with the new rules. So if he's
the new rules.
on complete season-ending IR, then if he's not expected to come back at all, which means so if you tell the league he's on LTIR, he's not going to come back at all, you get the full relief. That includes playoffs. That means he cannot return for the playoffs. So if he does end up ending his career, like let's just say his knee completely blows out and he's done, yes, you can get the full LTIR relief. But there's certain little caveats on how you actually have to manage that. So in the off season, that's when you have to be a little bit more careful with the money. That's when you have to make sure that 6.5 is available. But it's not like it's going to put the Bruins in a large caps constraint because it's only 4 years. Because if Hagens comes, they've got 3 years. Potter, they have a couple more years. They're not going to put themselves in a significant amount bind by doing that. But it doesn't take away from any of the other concerns that we have. And for him, just him in general as a person, dude, like I never want to see a player go down like that. I may hate like a guy like Tom Wilson, but if I ever saw him down and he's not getting up, my heart's still going to go out to that guy.
Fuck that guy.
Steve just said good.
Fuck him.
Like,
nope. Fuck that piece of shit. Fuck him. There's certain players that I respect, and there's certain players that I absolutely can't stand. I hope they burn hell, and Tom Wilson's one of them. For the record, fuck that guy.
Noted.
Noted.
Duly noted.
Duly noted. Steve is going to fight Tom Wilson. Book it.
No, I'm not going to fight him. I just wish he got hit by a bus.
While Steve's driving the bus.
Yeah, exactly. Fuck that guy. You could have said fucking Sidney Crosby or anybody else almost. And I would agree.
No, but I picked the one fucking guy that you absolutely hate.
The one that he despises, that he could talk about at length for just how much he freaking hates.
Yeah, out of like the 300 something players in the league, and I picked the one fucking guy he hates. Like the 300 players in the NHL. What's the odds on that one? It's the Vegas odds on that, baby.
Tell me Vegas. Come on.
Tell me Vegas. Put it on. It's just, it sucks, dude. I feel so bad for the guy. Like, I want to see him play. I think he's a fun guy to watch, like, and play, because he's
got a good personality too, off the ice. You know, I see him in the Bruins commercials.
Just looks like,
you know,
dude, he just looks like such a goober. And then he's gonna go and fucking hit somebody. Like, he just looks like a goober. I don't know.
I just enjoy watching him play. His play style is very enjoyable to watch. Especially on the Boston.
Yeah, he's smooth. He's swift with the puck. You know, when he's clicking and working with his teammates. I mean, he can hit them anywhere, and he's got a sneaky release as well. You know, people don't always see it come out. You know, when it comes out, he's got a from the point. He's got a good shot. So
he's got a bomb of a shot too, and he shoots it.
Mm-hmm. Yes, he does.
Yeah, he's got some.
I mean, a lot of NHL defensemen do.
No, yeah, he's got some nice offensive flair. He's solid, defense, and his defensive game has picked up even more coming to the Bruins. I mean, he was a pretty solid defenseman before, but we got him and signed him long term because we thought he could be a really key piece to us and could benefit from our style of play. And so far, he has from a few different coaches, but yeah, you hate to see it happen to anyone. He seems like a really good guy, and he's going through it still. If last year wasn't enough, it had to spell on into this year. So I just hope that it turns around for him soon enough because we need him. It's like right now for the team's dire daily needs. He needs to be part of it if we want to factor in success. We want to talk about success at all with this team. Both Lindholms have to be in it and clicking well. And I'd say Elias has picked up slack.
Elias has made up for it.
Yeah, he's made up for it for sure. I'm liking how he's playing, and but yeah, you feel for Hampus, you really do.
Mm-hmm. Which begs the next question of who the fuck is going to replace him? Because if he's on the IR, right, who's going to be that sixth guy Lori is not,
Bruins legend.
Yeah, right. Bruins legend over here. Lori is not
Bruins legend
obviously...
Victor Soderstrom.
Oh yeah, give me
Hey, he looked good yesterday. He was the entire team.
He just didn't look in a preseason fucking turnover machine and soft as Charmin Ultra. Shit.
No, come on.
He did look soft. I'm sorry, but like that begs the next question, right? Where he's clearly on the IR. We're gonna have to fill a spot for top 6. Lori and McAvoy are obviously not working together. What do we
you
go?
Can't
What do
pair
we do from
Zadorov
here?
with McAvoy either. It didn't work.
You can't. It didn't work at all.
It works in stints, I think, but that is literally physically too top heavy. And then if you're that pair could get burned for speed at times, especially like a Celebrini just coming down the wall at them, like
he's
absolutely
so good,
burn them, absolutely burn them. But
that kid has 15 points in 8 games. He's so fucking good.
It's insane.
Not even
it's
funny.
insane. I haven't seen an under 20 player play that good since someone named Crosby and other greats.
So good.
Thanks, Boston University.
It's Stevie. It's a great question. We don't have left defensive depth right now to adequately replace him.
And I will say, love Michael Callahan. He's actually from my hometown.
Yep.
So I've heard good things about him. Yeah. He's got it. He's a great family name, and great local guy. It's cool, but yeah, but that's what he is as a depth piece, and he's going to provide contributions in his own right for what he can do. But we're talking about like a solid top 6 fill in who's going to take the place. You know what I'm saying? So it's I don't think he can't do that. So
I actually didn't mind Jordan Harris's game. I actually really like Jordan Harris on the main roster. I do. I think he's also out with an injury, but I think he's more day to day. So I think he's closer to coming back. So I mean, I don't hate Jordan Harris, but I don't think he's your top pairing guy. I mean,
no,
your only option realistically is Zadorov, but I no.
I mean, this is going to sound out of the box, but
I don't know.
Peak?
It's a good question, Steve.
What'd you say, Steve?
I said this is going to sound
Peak's
out of the box.
Right shot, right defenseman.
Yeah, I mean, but you can play with certain things.
You could play the left.
You could play the left. I mean, especially if. My point is,
I'd almost rather Yoki Haru though.
I would too, but also you can't. I don't feel that you can take Yoki Haru away from Zadorov. I mean, I think that P can also play with Zadorov. I think it's been shown a little bit, but it's not your long-term solution.
Yeah.
It's just, I think if he's paired up with McAvoy, Peak would be more of a stay-home defenseman, allowing McAvoy to do a little bit more offense, maybe freeing up his game and his pressure, but
allowing more pucks to go off of his foot too,
which always is a possibility. But at the end of the day, I don't think with Peak's play style he's going to get burned because he's a pretty solid defensive player. But the thing is, the reason why I'm bringing this up is because again, we don't really have any real prospects to bring up to fill that number 1 void with experience. And what do you do from here?
It's more number 2. I wouldn't say number 1.
Well, yeah, but number 1 pairing.
Oh, you're talking about number 1 pair, top pairing.
Yeah,
okay,
top pairing, and with McAvoy, because again, the question is who's going to play with McAvoy because Lori obviously can't, and that's kind of where what I'm getting at is there's nobody coming up from Providence. Yeah, Harris is serviceable, but he's again not a number 1 pairing guy at this time. Right.
I think you want to get him more minutes, though. I really did like what we saw. I mean, he had flashes.
Yeah. I do too, and I think with this injury, he could get some of those minutes, but again, not on the top pair.
Yeah.
It's that, and that's kind of what do you do? Do you make a trade for another number 2?
No, then
what do you do?
Because then you get stuck, right? Because if Hampus does come back and he's full steam ahead, so you're gonna have Zadorov, Hampus, Lowry, and whoever you trade for. At what cost? Like, you know what I mean? You're going to have to probably trade one of those pieces with it, and it would have to be Lowry because Zadorov and Lindholm both have no moves.
Yep.
I think we'll get a better idea of how this is going to shake out by Thanksgiving for when
100%.
we see how the team is looking, but also, I mean, how the team's looking standing wise, but how we're looking lineup wise as well. You know, if Hampus is still dealing with injury mishaps, then yeah, I think, and then depending on the stats of the team, I think then you decide if you want to make moves to help bolster your defense, especially your top four in a top pairing. But yeah, by then we're gonna have an idea of how that's gonna pan out. So
speaking of moves,
quick question: how long do you have to wait until you can put somebody on long-term IR?
I think it depends on the nature of the injury.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I don't know those terms.
I don't know if there is a specific timeline off the top of my head, but there has to be some form of expectation that they're going to miss significant amount of time in order to be placed on LTIR. It's like you can't place them on LTIR unless they meet a certain requirement, like that they're guaranteed to miss that amount of time.
Yeah, basically their injury has to be
IR is
that bad.
different.
Yeah, we have to see the injury is going to be that bad.
Yeah.
But LTIR is like
on right
months.
now.
And the only reason I'm asking is because obviously last year he was gone for the whole season, right? And that was a long-term IR. And I'm just curious, what is going to be the circumstance around Lindholm with his return, with all those, with kind of all that technical shit by the league standards.
That I don't know. I can't answer for you.
Gotcha.
I'm not entirely sure on all the little nuances with respect to it, but I would say they will probably have an idea by December if he still hasn't played a game, because at that point you got to worry about conditioning him to game time. So, or even January. So like that's probably going to be the concern. And at that point,
I think so.
If you're not in contention for a playoff spot, then they're not going to see a need to rush him. So, but there's also then no point of putting him on LTIR because you're not going to make any acquisitions necessarily unless you add by subtraction at the deadline. But then it's not going to be anything substantial that puts you over the edge. It's just going to be in preparation for the next year. You mentioned moves, Jack. Let's talk about the trade rumors regarding Pavel Zacha.
Out of the blue, I must say.
Friedman,
like I opened up my phone one day and it said Zacha Vancouver, and there was someone like making up like a mock trade, and I was like, "What is this about?" So
it was Elliot Friedman who kind of linked Vancouver back to Zacha in the summer, and then he resurfaced it again because I guess they've been calling for him because Vancouver is injury ridden really bad right now. Like Philip Keedle after the hit from Tom Wilson, Steve's favorite player, got hit and he's
Steve's
out.
sitting here like, I told you,
fuck that guy.
If anyone
who gets hit by a bus and I'm driving it, like
anyone who's watching on YouTube right now, you can just see Steve shrugging his shoulders, throwing his hands up, being like,
"Told you, bro."
It was I will say this, Steve. It was a clean hit. It was a really hard hit on Keedle.
Really, really hard.
I know. Hit. Listen, I watched it. Don't get me wrong, but again, doesn't change my opinion of that
he's a piece of shit. He's a piece of shit. Steve.
I love how everyone even got like Jack and I were just like, he's a piece of shit before you even got to it. Like, we know.
Hey, listen, if there's somebody out there listening, put a comment. Change my fucking mind because you're not going to be able to. I will die on this hill.
Let's get a live fan in next week. We'll have him join, and we'll be Steve versus fan debate on.
Go ahead. I have a pretty tough exterior. Okay, go ahead. Do your worst. Try to, because you're not going to change my mind.
He's like, try to, because you're not going to do much.
I'm literally going to share this with everyone and just be like, just roast this guy for no reason. He'll just probably piss himself laughing at all the comments.
I probably will, because
it'd be 100% worth it.
Kind of funny, but at the end of the day, it's about Tom Wilson. So keep it to that, because I'm not going to entertain any other bullshit.
Yeah. Well, anyways, Vancouver injury ridden.
Zacha has been linked to them.
And you know what? Say what you want about Elliot Friedman. He's probably the most reliable guy out there. So if he's talking about it,
Frank Saravalli,
if he's talking about it, there's probably a lot of truth to it.
Yeah, if it's surfacing in the hockey news and being mentioned on programs, then yeah, there's some truth there. But
I don't love it, but I don't hate it.
I don't doubt that Vancouver has kicked tires on Zacha. I mean, his contract is very affordable for a 2C. And for a guy that plays like he does, like it's $4.75 million for this year and next year. That's a really good deal for a team that's looking to contend for the Stanley Cup. My thing is, I'm not rushing to trade him because at the trade deadline, if we were to trade Zacha, I'm not rushing to trade him anyway. But let's just say at the trade deadline, Boston was willing to move on from him. Bring in as many of the suitors as you want, dude. Holy shit. Because that means people will overpay.
Yeah.
Say that again, Jack?
No, yeah, then that's when people will shoot. Shooters will shoot. The pistols are going to go firing. But
yep. Overpay. Don't care. Overpay for him.
Well, again, but that's a great thing for us, especially where we're in a rebuild. Let's just face it, we're in rebuild. And we need to get something going.
They'll never admit that, but yeah.
They never will. Bruins management is not going to admit it. We're admitting it right now as Bruins fans. We can see the proof in the pudding, right? The fact of the matter is, let a team overpay for him. And you know what? Trade him close to the trade deadline as long as he keeps playing the way he does, because his stock is going to just go up and up and up, which is going to force all these contending teams who need a 2C, even a solid 3C on a contending team. They would love to have Zacha, especially the way he plays. That way you have 3 solid, centers, on a contending team, and that will take him over the edge. And I wouldn't be surprised if it's Vancouver. Again, they need the help. They're injury prone, but they also need a solid center to do what they need to do. And I'm not saying I hope it's going to be the Canucks, because I don't like the Canucks. But if they're going to pay a pretty penny for it, fucking let them. Let them. We need the draft picks. We need all this shit, and let them pay. So stick it to them.
I'm not just looking for draft picks, dude. I think you can get a draft pick plus.
Oh, I think you can get a player plus 2 draft picks if his stock continues to rise.
Depends on the 2 draft picks, and depends on the. I don't know if you're going to get that much of an overpay.
I think you might, especially if he continues playing solid on a shit team like they are.
How about this? If Malkin isn't available and Pittsburgh still runs on that tear, I could see maybe people getting extremely desperate, but I don't think you're going to get like a first and a second. You might get a first and a fourth or a fifth plus a C-level prospect. I just don't think it's going to be that high, but you'll get a return. But Boston might also have to give up like a 6th in return for that too. I just don't think it's going to be just for Zacha.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? I don't think he's that level of talent.
I don't think he is either, but I think let me clarify my point. I don't think that they're going to get a top 6 guy in return for him, and I don't think they're going to get a shit ton of high value picks. They might get a 2nd and a 5th and a 4th liner.
Oh, you can get a 2nd and a 3rd in that case if you're going to go that way.
Yeah, I mean, but if you're getting, a 3C
but these
in
are
return,
hypotheticals.
These are hypothetical, but like I'm not saying they're getting a 1st round, a 2nd round, and a top 6 forward. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that the return. I mean, who wouldn't
buy that for $1?
Yeah, no shit. Me too. But at the end of the day,
Jack's just like, I just want this fucking team to win a game.
Yeah, fucking me too, buddy. We're all in the same fucking. Like, again, we all want this team to win so we can actually have a positive fucking episode. Instead of just crying like a bunch of bitches.
My trade talk isn't great, but I would say that I think I'll go off your points and say, yeah, just let them keep ripping it. Put up the points, up your trade stock. And if you can play great on a team like this or produce, then that ups your value tremendously. And then I think you can get, might be like a 2 and a 5th or 2 and a 6th, and then some 4th or bottom one in return, kind of like what we got for. I mean, again, this was with a different scenario with Omar. We got that pick brought back to us, and then Kaslik and what else. But I don't think
you're going to get at least a first.
Yeah.
If it's just picks, you're going to get at least a first.
Yeah, and I think Zacha is capable of that. I mean, if he had better higher, capabilities or whatever, I mean, then you can, change up those terms. But yeah, I think basically you should just let it ride, let him keep bulldozing and putting up points, and if he is to be traded, one in return is going to be interesting. I think probably for his best bet and to help a team, yeah, he could probably get dealt, I'd say, closer more to the deadline. If I had to pick a time where I think realistically he might get dealt if he keeps playing to what he is. We're gonna have to see.
I think that's a good point.
Go ahead, Kim.
Sorry, Steve. Go ahead. The when is very important, because if you are going to decide to move on from him, the when becomes important.
Exactly.
You do it where you think, you get what you believe is a very good deal, and he's trending in a good direction, and you just take thinking that no one else is going to outbid them. Or do you wait and potentially risk either him going better than what he's performing or worse than he's performing and wait to the trade deadline? That's going to be the big question. I think you still wait to the trade deadline because he has a history of being able to perform, and there's many teams that would love him as a suitor. Montreal being one. I don't think he would go to Montreal, though, because
it keeps his options open too. I mean, if he keeps firing at Sindels and playing well up until the deadline, that leaves more calls to come in and destinations for him to go to. And
he does have a no trade. He does have a modified no trade list, so there are teams he can't go to, but he can still choose to waive that if he wants. It depends. So I will say, and I don't know what those teams are, but Montreal needs a 2C. Patrick Laine just went down, and he's going to be out 3 to 4 months.
Yeah, that guy's a showboaty, though. He's not much, though.
Yeah, I don't want him. I don't want him in return for it. But
Steve has opinion. Steve has opinions on Wilson. I have opinions on Laine. Laine. Opinions on that guy.
Jeez, am I just stomping all over you guys tonight? First I bring up Wilson, then I bring up Laine, and then you guys are just fuck those guys.
God, I hate them.
Montreal's a potential suitor, but they're not going to trade him to Montreal because that's an in-division thing, and that's your division rival. And they won't do it unless Montreal probably significantly overpays.
Or gives an amazing, or here's
another suitor that could
amazing return.
Or it needs to be something significant, to the point where they would put but Kent Hughes is not going to do that. That puts the team in jeopardy. It could be Vancouver, but I don't think Vancouver has anything that really tickles my fancy. They have one right defenseman, but it doesn't really tickle my fancy. But Carolina, I think, is another one. Possibly Utah, but Utah has way too many left-handed shooters. They need some right-handed ones. And
Utah's
maybe even the Kings.
Tear as well. I'm not trying to distract you too much, but
yes, they are.
You were right. You would pick them, right? And that they're one of your top favorite teams or teams. Last year. You were like Utah's all the way on that.
Yeah. Yep, 100%. But that's going to come with Zacha. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Would I like to keep on him? But Casey Middlestat they're also taking calls on Casey Middlestat reportedly. So, but I wanted to focus on Zacha because he's, I believe, the one with the modified no trade list. I don't think Middlestat does, but I'd have to double check on that.
And I think Zacha has more value for the Bruins organization than Middlestat does. But
he's just bigger. I think it's his size.
I think it's his size too, and we all know how much size matters in the playoffs, right? But if you're a contending team, if you're a contending team that's already has size, why would you go for Middlestat, right? I'd go for talent to shore up whatever needs you need, right? I just think you can get more value out of Zacha as opposed to Middlestat.
Absolutely.
If you're a team that already has size, I would go for the Middlestat. If you're a team that's lacking the size, I would go for the Zacha. Because Middlestat's a really good playmaker, but Zacha's also a really good power forward. So it's you have two equal and opposite things there.
Yeah, it depends what you're looking for, really. I mean, again, I don't think you can include Middlestat into too many serious conversations yet, just in general of what he can do, because it's kind of a story of him still. It's what is he? Can he be that top guy who was brought in, first round draft pick, or is he someone that's going to hop from team to team? And so he's still looking to find it, and he's had some good flashes with us, I think. And I hope they can get more out of him, and then maybe that can help him in his trade stock or whatever if it comes down to it. But yeah, I think in general though, you can get more out from Zacha too. I'm on that.
And to be honest with you, I don't think Zacha is going to re-sign with the Bruins.
Yeah,
I just can't see it happening, especially with the state of the team, as it is.
I've seen crazier.
No, I've seen crazier. Don't get me wrong, but it's just I think Zacha wants to win. I think he has the opportunity to get off a sinking ship and go to a contending team, or even, I wouldn't even say a contending team, but not a fucking losing team like we are. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think
not as fucking losers. God, suck.
Listen, they are losers right now. Okay, guys, change my fucking mind. Right? Like, go out there and win a fucking 3-game streak. Okay, please. Like, prove me wrong. I'm hoping
they are on a 3-game streak, or they're about to be.
Yeah, losing
a 3-game losing streak. You just never specified.
Yeah, exactly. A 3-game winning streak.
And they're about to play tomorrow against Matthew Schaefer, the top rookie is looking like so far in the league so far, who is absolutely disgusting.
Yes, he is. He's good. But again, it proves the point of you get what you can out of Zacha, because he's not going to resign. And that's just my point. Is just he's not going to resign, and you might as well dish him and get something to rebuild. Because we all know how Don Sweeney is with the negotiations as well. He's going to lowball him.
Well, speaking of which, when we're fighting for scraps and tanking out for McKenna, which is going to look like, we might have some room to call a couple P. Bruins up. So why don't we include P. Bruins into this kind of depressing conversation and spice things up a little bit?
Wagon.
They're a fucking wagon. They're a wagon, man.
Wagon.
And I mentioned earlier, I said quickly, I said they look good yesterday because, for viewers, I did get to go to the game yesterday with my dad. It was my birthday last Thursday. So
quick brag. Quick brag.
If I'm bragging about going to the P. Bruins game, then, what does that say? But it was
at least you get to brag about seeing a fucking win.
That is true. That is
Think
really
about
true.
it that way, dude.
Yeah, went to the game with my dad. Nice little birthday outing, and we had amazing seats too. We were up right at the glass too, which is awesome. But they look great. They've been looking great this entire season. Getting to watch them up front in person. It's everything the Bruins aren't right now. They're exciting. They're quick. They know how to play responsible, and they're clicking. They're clicking on all cylinders. Patra came very close to getting his first goal yesterday. He had an awesome chance in the first period, didn't bury it, but he's got up to 6 assists in 6 games. Merkulov 2 points, 2 goals, I think, and then again I said assist for Patra. So, what do you think?
I believe
do we
Merkulov
think any of those guys
leads the AHL at points?
I
think Merkulov
sure
leads
he
the AHL
does.
at points.
Yeah. So, do we see them up? Do we see them up at all this season? Is it sooner? Is it later? Is it not at all? Do they help the sinking ship? What do you guys think? And who is going to get a crack next?
I'm gonna solve this one for you. The Providence Bruins are gonna look great in the NHL Bruins logos as soon as the Don Sweeney trades the entire fucking team at the trade deadline, except for Pasternak and Geeky. They're gonna look great. You get Patra, Lysell.
Trust me.
Probably Merck might get his opportunity. I'm surprised he hasn't already.
He looked so good, man. He looked so good. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, I mean, but
they're gonna look so good in the spoked B as opposed to the spoked P. Like, it's gonna be crazy.
Or they're gonna look so good on another team's NHL franchise, which is
don't
listen. That's what Don Sweeney does.
That's the Don Sweeney plan, man. Map it out for us, Steve.
Get rid of all of your good talent that's up and coming, and keep with your loyalty on your Boston Bruins.
And signed Tanner Jeannot to $3 million.
Yep. Well, and the thing
it's
is,
not the dollar value; it's the fucking no trade clause that's attached to it that pisses me off. You guys
Cam. Yeah, Cam.
I can't let it fucking go. It's not even the money. It's the you can't keep bringing it up.
But I mean, but it's hard not to bring it up, especially when his plus minus is fucking atrocious. He doesn't do anything out there. He's allergic to the puck, and he is so tough to watch and so tough to enjoy watching him. He's probably a fantastic human being, but he sucks on the ice.
And you have to include this in this P. Bruins conversation with how well they're doing. It's like this is what you're choosing to emulate and to go for, and it doesn't.
And it makes no sense. And you know what? I hope the Providence Bruins continue their tear. I really do, because at least it gives me some hope of the future that 4 or 5 guys make it up to the show and on the roster, as long as barring Don Sweeney fucking up everything. But at the end of the day, it's like, if the offense is actually producing like the stats suggest, where do you put them in? Right? Like
that becomes the difficult question.
That's my point, right? That's if it's producing, like, it would be easy to sit there to say, okay, Patra's developing his game into a pretty decent playmaker, and the Bruins offense is not scoring any fucking goals. We can plug him in for a couple games and see what he does up here, right? But they're producing.
If I were to honestly pick it, like, if you could get rid of if Casey, if you decide to stay with Pavel Zacha and you trade away Casey Middlestat, Patra on the second line with Zacha, and maybe if you put Lysell there, I don't know if he's going to earn that spot right away, but fuck it. You're already going to be a bottom of the barrel team. Why not put the kids with some NHL experience and some people who can create some space for them? Like,
and
you know what I mean? That to me just seems
that's all Lysell was doing yesterday. Like, he always had the puck and he was just moving the play around him. He was constantly moving his feet, making open space, and drawing people towards him so he can make plays.
Yep.
And have some offensive flair there. Like, he looked very sound, as the entire team is, but he was super noticeable just as a guy who's driving the play. Like, you always saw him.
And then you keep Geeky, Lindholm, Pasta. Like, again, if I were to have it my way, you trade Middlestat at the deadline. Zacha, Patra, Lysell, Jeannot, Minton, Arvidsson, because I think Arvidsson is going to be better suited down on that. I think, honestly, if you put Arvidsson down on the third line, you probably might have something better because, again, Jeannot creates space, Minton drives the play, and then Arvidsson goes and gets the puck. So I think and then I don't even know like what your fourth line looks like, but I really just Acimont, Beecher, Costello, get rid of Corrali. I'm sick of it. I'm done with it. Bringing back these trade away Corrali and Middlestat at the deadline. Keep Zacha if you can.
Kustosinov, I totally just butchered his name, but the Cootie guy, he looked very good today. He was one bright spot, and again, we haven't talked about the game much today, but he
fourth-line guy though.
I liked his play a lot. He stood out a good amount, and so I'd keep him. He's not really part of the conversation we're having, but I enjoyed him and for what he brought today, and I think he can be a solid fourth liner. So I think he can be included. And when we look at what this lineup should shake out to,
you know what? Fuck it. Here's the real argument. Don Sweeney needs to stop preventing these people from being able to make a reasonable case to make the roster. That's what it boils down to. You can't bury a guy like Tanner Jeannot, who makes $3 million down in Providence, without eating most of that cap. Because let's be real, he would likely clear waivers. You can't bury a guy like Mikey Acimont. You can't bury a guy like Sean Corrali because they just don't make enough. And sure, they might get swooped up. But you're doing this under the false pretense of we're going to generate competition to make the roster. The only reason why I think some of these guys didn't even make the roster in the first place was because you have to justify spending $3.5 million on Jeannot and $4 million for Victor Arvidsson. Now, mind you, I don't think Victor Arvidsson is playing all that bad, but That's $7.5 million you need to justify playing. So that's the only reason why I think Potter and Lysell have found themselves starting in Providence, and Blamel as well, because I thought the three of them actually did do enough to earn a 9-game try. Prove me wrong. I'm going to take a page out of Steve's book, not a picture. Prove me wrong.
No, I said this before the season started.
Fuck all your couches.
Go ahead.
What was that, Cam?
Sorry, I was just going to say, fuck all your couches. That adds to fuck all your couches, because that leads me to the final point that I was going to say. And, it ties into the whole Providence thing with the players succeeding the way they are. Is Don Sweeney on the hot seat because of it?
Yeah, I think we should at least introduce that conversation. And, from Thanksgiving on, it's going to get only more and more apparent. But, yeah, I mean, I don't think he's got much longer left at this rate. If it's another stinky season, according to our standards and Bruin standards, get a good draft pick, that'd be nice. But I think that is a one way to get out for him.
Steve, you had a point. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Don Sweeney has not been off of the hot seat in 2 years.
I don't think you can make a case for that he's not. He hasn't been.
The fact that the Bruins organization extended him for 2 years over the summer is
only 2, yeah,
a sin. I've said this before. I will say it again. The fact of the matter is, Don Sweeney has been on the hot seat for the past 2 years. He will continue to be on the hot seat for the next 2 years, because we know how Bruins loyalty works. We know how he's tight with Cam, and we know how he's tight with the Jacobs family. They're just giving him the rope to hang himself when he should have been fired and not extended in the offseason. I mean, I'll give credit where credit's due. He does make good trades for the most part. His contracts and his drafting, while not being at the Peter Chiarelli level, aren't that great.
I actually don't mind his contracts, but
his contracts are
except
okay.
for the Tanner Jeannot one.
Well, yeah, but that's, again, to me, that's a whole situational awareness of, you just got extended for 2 years because you're on the hot seat and they don't want to do you dirty, quote unquote. And then you go out and sign Tanner Jeannot for 3.5 times 5, and 2 of those years are no trade clause, or 3 of those years. So it's like you're on the hot seat. Yeah, you're on the hot seat, and then you do something fucking as dumb as that. And to your point, where you're spending $7.5 million that you quote unquote need to justify on playing, while hindering growth and development of younger players that are clearly proven they're proving, I wouldn't say proven, they're proving their worth down in Providence. So at the end of the day, it's like, he is not going to be off the hot seat. In my eyes, he's not off the hot seat for the past 2 years. I want him gone.
Hot take. They gave him 2 years. They know this team's not going to be a playoff team this year, at least. Depends. Like, we could do what the LA Kings didn't do, a complete 180 next year. We don't know. Like, anything is possible. But they gave him 2 years. What if they sat him down and said, like, your job over the next 2 years is to actually get this team to a state where the heir apparent can take over and make it better. So he drafted you James Higgins. He got you Will Moore. You're likely getting another lottery pick this year. By the way, with the way the Leafs are playing, I'm a little concerned about that pick by the Leafs, because it's top 10 protected and they're at 500 hockey. I know it's early, but I'm a little worried. That's just a side point. The piece to the hot take about this is that they hired Zdeno Chara as a hockey advisor to get to know the players, the Providence Bruin system, basically hockey operations. Could Chara potentially be the heir apparent to Don Sweeney? Or Cam Neely? Either one of them.
God, please not Cam. Cam, you're a legend. I'm not going to take that away from you, but
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You should not be.
Listen, okay, you want a hot take right here? I think Zdeno Chara would do a much better job of being the Boston Bruins president of the organization. Okay, get us into the new era of things.
I think that's just a fact.
Yeah, I think that's actually a fact written.
But this is where it's going to get hotter. Okay, Chara being Chara, right? Very intelligent man, knows the game of hockey. One of the most intelligent people who ever played the game. Right? Can speak all these languages
on the face of this planet.
I mean, very true. But still, I think he would be much better suited to, gauge the locker room, see what personalities mix, set a message as he did for so many years in Boston of the overall mission of the Boston Bruins and leading the organization by example, like he did on the ice from the president's office. Now, I quite frankly am sick and tired of seeing all these old Boston Bruins becoming the GMs of the Boston Bruins. We need to move into a different direction because the big bad Bruins hockey of the 1970s and 80s is no longer a viable option. To change what is going on right now.
I'm sorry. Did anyone hear that? Cam, did you do that?
Cam did that. Cam did that.
All right, let's make sure I wasn't going crazy.
Yeah.
God, you whipped out the soundboard. You're going like full.
Yeah, but tell me I'm wrong. I don't think that the Bruins organization needs more Boston Bruins to relive the glory days of the 1970s. That I don't. We need to move in a different direction because the game has moved to a different direction. Again, the best plan: tank for McKenna, trade Zacha, and that way your top line is Pasta, McKenna, Hagens, and then you already have a 2C in Lindholm.
Oh, that actually. Oh, I like that.
Oh, yeah, exactly, guys. It's hot
McKenna,
in here.
Hagens, Pasternak, Middlestat, Lindholm, Geeky, Tanner Jeannot, because we have to.
He has to be included in it for now, unfortunately.
Because we have to.
Because we have to.
Oh, no,
I
think you move Mitten up higher. I think if you got that amount of young firepower, I think Mitten should be included in that. Funny. Or I think Mitten could end up being a really reliable 3C if you can develop your top six. Ideally, I mean, if we're talking about perfect terms. But
that is
such a fantasy,
dream, though.
Yeah, it's the wettest of dreams I've ever thought of in my life. Wouldn't that be nice?
Oh man.
Oh wow. Yeah.
Incredible.
Nope. He's on the hot seat. I don't know, dude. I see. It's not a hot take, Steve. In all honesty, I think it's a valid point. Like, does Zdeno Chara fit better as the president of Hockey Ops? Maybe. Listen, I'll take any GM that isn't named Kevin Adams.
Yeah. Be careful. So, Peter Chiarelli's anyone else too, and I don't want
to because what Kevin Adams has done to the Sabres is criminal. He traded for Josh Norris.
The Sabres are back though. I think they're 4-4-1. Well, that's technically under 500, but
there is 1 point separating the entire Eastern Conference from the wild card spot. Just let that sink in. There is a whole bunch of 500 hockey in the Eastern Conference. Just let that sink in, Jack. It's early yet, and I understand there'll be separation.
Wow. Yeah,
but yeah, that's nuts. Think about that. So technically, the Bruins could have won tonight, but they we'll get into that next week because I don't have the brain capacity to talk about it. But it's just crazy, cuckoo nuts. I don't know.
I mean, to your point about the East standings, I mean, unless you're Montreal and or Detroit, I mean, those two teams are nowhere, playing, by the way. Yeah, I mean, they're playing really hot, and it is what it is. But everyone else, it's pretty much anyone's division right now, especially with all these teams being so close. And again, I think the Bruins could be sad to say, they could be up there with Montreal and surpass Detroit if we won some of those games that were very winnable games. We'd be right there, and it'd be kind of, I think we'd be, the team would have a different attitude if we came away with some of those wins that were, really close losses that we should have probably won. And then you're looking at a much different conversation here.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's close. Yeah, you're right, Steve. To your point, like we could be right up there in the Eastern Conference. Like it's very tight, at least in the East. So, by the way, fuck the Rangers. They suck. God, they're so goddamn terrible. I just want to keep bringing that up because it like just brings music to my ears. Like, fuck those guys. Fuck Matt Rempe. What a loser. Bum. Asshole. Dick. Hate that guy.
What do you guys think?
You guys hate Line and Wilson? I fucking can't stand Matt Rempe. I honestly just felt left out and I wanted this. No, I wouldn't. Actually, I wouldn't. I don't like it. I know. No, not him. I also wouldn't like Jacob Trouba. No, he's a big bad piece of shit is what he is. Fucking bum, dude. Loser. Steve, kick his ass for me.
I'm good, buddy.
Oh, man. I was hoping that the 50th episode would be such like a joy. Like, maybe we got a couple wins here.
Oh, God, yeah. What a depressing tone for a 50th episode. Wow.
I know, right? Like
vibes just went down the drain.
Yeah, I know, right? Like, hopefully episode 100 it's just like, guys, we're fucking back, baby. Contenders. We're so back.
Contenders. We got the tank for McKenna was successful.
We got McKenna. We got Hagens. Wayne Gretzky's coming out of retirement. Bobby Orr's lacing up the skates. We're back, baby.
Chara's the president of Hockey Ops. Let's go.
Let's go. Bergeron's
We're so good.
Yeah, no, what a bummer for the viewers. But I mean, this is the state of hockey in Boston. And I saw a video on Instagram. It was like, it was the goal against that Florida scored, the one that we talked about with Swayman out of position, defense out of position, that just unlucky bounce. And the caption of it, what did Boston do to piss off the hockey gods? I mean, honestly, like
they signed Tanner Janot to
$0.5 million. They were here. I'll go the source of the
whole. We did everything, just everything and all.
Yeah, we re-signed or we extended Don Sweeney for 2 more years. That's what really made them upset, and that's the root of all evil there. And you know what? I mean, we should get a priest to TD Garden and get that shit exercised.
Get it cleansed.
Get it cleansed because we need something.
A priest, a Buddhist, a rabbi, whatever the Hindu version of that is, and the Muslim version of that as well. I think I accidentally just said version. I'm so sorry. Like, just get every like faith leader from every religion and get in there and do some shit and just bless it. I don't even know. Get everybody in there. We're gonna cover all the bases, all the fucking bases.
Mm-hmm.
It's fine, guys. We gotta get worse. Things gotta get worse before they can get better. We're gonna be back in it in about 3 to 5 years. So could be sooner, guys. Honestly, it could be sooner. You just never know. You never know if we draft right. Yeah. Means
you were out there. You're like, yeah.
I was trying really hard to give him credit there. No, honestly, guys, like it's going to be a frustrating season, but like, we're going to be here to cover it all. We're going to be like, bright-eyed and bruised. Whatever the fucking phrase is at this point.
Bushy-tailed.
But, yeah. Trust me, my tail's getting fucking bushied right now, but this fucking team.
All right, do we do predictions for the rest of the week? Might as well.
Yes, that's actually what we're gonna close out with. I was actually just about to close it out because I'm so goddamn depressed.
Before we get into that, we didn't get your pick for tonight's game. What did you pick, Cam? You didn't tell us.
I had a win.
Yeah, I think he had put in before he had a win. Yeah.
I'm taking control of this prediction chart. Oh boy. Oh, I'm not letting Cam off on this one.
I'm down in the dumpster and will continue
and that's
to be because I just took another mispick tonight, so I think I'm even worse than what Cam informed me before. So
do you even like
no,
want to know?
Yes.
No, I don't.
The people want to know.
Don't.
Bring the stats out. Let the people know.
Expose the rookie.
Steve is currently leading the prediction tractor. I like that. He's currently leading at 63.64%. I am in second with 54.55%. And Jack is pretty fucking far behind at 25%.
Delusional Bruins fan right there.
To be fair,
oh my god,
his picks really weren't that bad.
No, they weren't.
No, I've just been like the Bruins. I've been like the Bruins. I last second I swerve my prediction. It swerves out of the way and it does awful, and I blow it last second.
And
maybe if you started predicting the opposite, they might perform
and I'll
better.
Do better.
Every time you predicted a win, you haven't gotten it right. I'm literally looking at it right now. I
predicted a win tonight as well.
The jinx.
You have not predicted a single win.
Oh my god.
Not one.
No.
Actually, to be fair, I've only predicted one win. Holy shit, that's terrible.
See? Suck it, Cam.
Not me.
They've only had fucking 4 wins, so I mean, I don't know. It's like
all right, yeah. Well, me and Cam tonight each had dubs. We both took the L on that.
I had the L and I took a dub on that one. So thank you very much, boys.
Wow, Steve predicted 3 out of the 5 of their wins. Wait, they didn't have 5.
3 out of the 4, shooting at 75%.
That's correct. Yeah, I'm sorry. I read that. Yeah. Wow, that's crazy. Sorry, yeah, I was reading that backwards. That's crazy.
You want to get into it for this week?
Yeah, let's get into it. Well, we should have won tonight, but
yeah,
I feel like we're going to be saying that a lot. We should have won this game.
That should have won. We
really literally should have won every single game. We should have been 82-0.
Oh yeah.
If it wasn't for a peak kicking the pucking.
I know. That one aggravated me so bad, dude. All right, so we have 4 games. Tonight the time of this recording was Monday. We had the Senators. Wow. 7-1 loss. We'll get into that next week. Jack and myself had a win. Steve had the only loss. So that sucks. Like, I don't know what you want me to say there. I had a win. It was a loss. Yeah, and now tomorrow we have the Islanders.
Because don't worry, we have it back-to-back with travel.
So whatever. I actually have a win against the Isles. And then we go play the Sabres on Thursday. I have a win against the Sabres because it's the Sabres. But we're probably going to lose that. Carolina is on Saturday at 1 p.m., so that's a matinee. We've historically performed terrible at matinees, and it's also Carolina. We're going to lose that game, but then just Boston being Boston, they'll somehow fucking win it. But I still have it as a loss.
Yeah. I have a win tomorrow for the Isles. I'm starting to feel really shaky about that. I have a dub for the Sabres. I really just also would be awesome to see them win so I could see Cam lose the prediction to the Sabres once more. But I have a dub for the Sabres. And then, historically, we're crap at matinees, and Carolina is looking real good. And I haven't paid attention to them too much this season so far, but I'm expecting good things from them, and I think we're going to take a fat L. There's my pessimistic Bruins attitude. Steve?
So I had an L for the Sens tonight. Islanders tomorrow. I actually have a win because who the fuck wants to, deal with a 7-1 loss? Like, you got to bounce back somehow. And I think the Islanders are trash.
Yeah, they'll bounce back. Yeah.
Well, listen, I think the Islanders are trash, and what better way to shake off a 7-1 L than winning a game? It doesn't matter if you win by an inch or a mile, you got to win. So I think the Islanders are a perfect opportunity for them to kind of say what the fuck and get back into gear, and then continue that into Buffalo. Going to beat the Sabres because it's Buffalo and fuck them. And then again, historically bad on matinees. And the last time I picked a dub on a matinee, I lost. So I'm not doing that. And Carolina is a fucking wagon. And I don't foresee them. I don't foresee them to win at all. So, and I'm not hoping it's going to be a 7-1 loss, but might be like a 5-1 loss. They got some
10-1.
I don't know.
Maybe 12.
I'm thinking 5-1, but
I'm thinking like 18-0.
All right, Cam.
That's it, guys. That was episode 50. We'll take what we can get.
Yeah, what a way to end it. Woo.
We learned a lot today, boys.
We really did. We learned a lot. We vented a lot, and I think hopefully next
great
episode
therapy.
We'll come with a different energy. It really was.
Wonderful therapy. I feel slightly less shittier, but it's okay because we're here. We got to suffer together, and I would not do it with anyone else except you two.
Yeah,
I could, but I wouldn't. But
I got a better one for you. I don't want to suffer at all.
I have one, Cam. Go out and play a defensive pair with Mason Lohrei and watch what happens.
Are you kidding me? I would somehow make this team worse. I can't play defense. I might score maybe an empty net goal. A goal, and probably I would probably have to play like 700 games, and they would just be like, all right, we got to get this guy one goal, and it would be an empty net, and I'd be like, guys, that's it, I'm retiring my number. Call it. It's a day.
His plus minus would be worse than Tanner Jeannot.
My plus minus would be record setting low, way down, not even close. Some guy would be like, who even let this fucker play on the ice? Oh,
Don Sweeney.
It would be Don Sweeney.
God. All right, guys, that's gonna do it for episode 50. We'll be back for episode 51 next week on our normal schedule. We're gonna return to recording it on Sundays, and then it'll release on Monday. Until then, don't forget to follow us on all of our socials at HiBruiNation. You can also catch all of our blogs on don'tpuckwithmedia.com, as this podcast is presented by Don't Puck With Media. And don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment, share in our pain. Don't share in our pain. Mock us, laugh at us. I don't know. Whatever gets us through this godforsaken season.
Someone call up Tom Wilson. I beg.
Yeah, prove me wrong on Tom Wilson. Prove me the fuck wrong. I dare you.
Someone tag Steve and tag Tom Wilson and just say fight. But until next time, guys, we hope you enjoyed the show. Have a good one.
Fuck Tom Wilson.